Guys, welcome back to Aunt Susie's Kitchen. Tonight, I'm gonna make rice. I love rice. I'll make rice 15 different ways. So pretty much my rice all starts out the same way. I measure how much rice I wanna use. Tonight I'm using 2 cups. And this is just a white jasmine rice that I have washed and then rinsed. You always wanna wash your rice. Okay. So now I have in here a little bit of grapeseed oil. It's a nice neutral oil, and you can cook it at a high temperature and not have to worry about it, smoking or anything like that. So I'm also gonna add to this just a touch of sesame oil. I love the rich flavor that sesame oil gives, and you only need to use a very small amount. I'm gonna say I use maybe not even a half a teaspoon, but I'm gonna get that smoky, earthy flavor in the back of this rice. And it's almost like I'm gonna steam this rice, but basically it's going to be the flavors of fried rice. If I could find my knife. Oh, there it is. Let me get these ingredients going. I've got some diced ginger and diced garlic. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of green onion. I know most people add the green onion at the end. I like to add it now because it gives a lot of flavor to what's going on inside this oil. I'm going to move that around a little bit. And then I have here 1 small green zucchini, and I'm going to cut that just in some cubes. I sliced it down the center and sliced it across lengthwise. And now I'm just going to give it a quick chop. There's a lot of water content inside zucchini. So I want to put that in early on and get some of that moisture out. Okay, excellent. Now, while this is cooking, of course, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not a lot, just a pinch at this point. I'm going to add a little fresh cracked black pepper. This thing always gives me a hard time. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. A little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. And I'm going to actually also add a couple pinches of some dried chili flakes. Okay? And they're going to go in there. The flavor already, or should I say the scent coming off of this, and I'm sure it's because of the flavors that I've added, really smells nice. Okay, now, I'm going to julienne a carrot. I love to put carrot in my rice. Not only does it add a little bit of texture, but it also adds a beautiful color. Let's face it, we eat first with our eyes, right? Before we pick it up and put it in our mouth, we first eat with our eyes. So it has to look good in order for us to want to eat it. So I'm just going to take this carrot, quick julienne, drop that in there, and then I'm just giving it a quick chop. I have this cute peeler. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these. It's actually not a peeler. After I've peeled and washed my carrots, I use this. It's a julienner, and basically it has all of these teeth on it. And so as you are pulling back on it, it makes these really cool long strips that almost look like spaghetti. And then I'm just going to give them a rough chop. And I'm going to throw them inside the pot. And it's really that easy. And you can do this with any vegetable that you like, any herb, any vegetable. These are ones that I like. I'm going to turn the gas up a little bit right now because I want the pan to get good and hot because I'm getting ready to add the rice. And like I said, I've got these 2 cups of washed rice here. And I hear the temperature is rising in the pan because I hear the activity increasing. Sometimes, if I have a little bit of extra time, I will soak my rice. I'll wash it and rinse it and drain out the starchy water, and then I will soak it. And I'll soak it for, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes up to a half an hour before I start cooking with it. That actually speeds up the cook time. case you didn't know that. So speeding up the cook time, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all about speeding up the cooking time. Look how pretty the colors are. Really, really nice colors. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the temperature up, and I kind of want to toast the rice just a little bit. I keep it moving because I don't want anything to stick to the outsides or burn. And I hear, again, I'm listening for what's going on inside that pan, and I can tell that the temperature is starting to come up. I'm gonna grab a spatula really quickly because I want to take all of these little rogue pieces of rice around the end, the ends of the pot here in the corners, and I want to just kind of push them down inside the pot. All right. Take all of those delicious herbs and vegetables off of that spoon. I'm gonna give them one more stir. I can smell the rice starting to toast just a little bit. A combination of that and the sesame oil really, really has a nice scent, and it will have an even better taste than it smells. So I'm just gonna add some water now. Water's funny. I know that there's a ratio of water to rice. I truly do not go by any preset ratios. I just kind of eyeball it. And what I want to do is I want to just cover the rice with the water. I want to leave, you know, a clearance, let's call it. Maybe a quarter of an inch, a half an inch. And you'll see very quickly this rice is going to start to absorb the water. I'm going to turn the gas up a little bit. I want it to come to a nice simmer before I put the lid on. And all of these steps are really reducing the amount of time that you need to cook the rice. So if you soak it, you can eliminate 10 full minutes from cooking time. And then if you toast the rice the way that we did a little bit, you can eliminate another 3 or 4 minutes from the cooking time. So I didn't soak the rice, but I did toast it. And so I'm going to probably, once this comes up to a nice simmer, which can take about 5 minutes, I'm going to then turn the gas down just a little, put the lid on, and I'm gonna set, believe it or not, an 8-minute timer. And then when the timer goes off, I'm gonna take it off the heat, and I'm gonna set another 8-minute timer, and I'm gonna let it sit and rest for 8 more minutes. And we're gonna have a perfectly cooked pot of rice then. So let's go ahead and let this come up to temperature, and then we're gonna go ahead and lid it. Okay, so it's been about 4 or 5 minutes, and the rice has come up to temperature. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit, and I'm just gonna give it one more stir. I wanna make sure that it is well incorporated and that it's not starting to stick. I'll get all of the rice off the sides of the pan. I do wanna see that very, very, very light simmer though. So I don't wanna take the temperature so that it stops simmering. See that light simmer? And it's reducing now, but once I put the lid back on, it is going to pick up again on the inside. We're not gonna take this lid off again until this rice is completely done. So I'm going to set an 8-minute timer. When that timer beeps, I'm gonna take it off the gas, set another 8-minute timer, and come back and show you what we've got here. Okay, so our timer went off, and that means that its 8 minutes is done. I'm gonna take it off the heat. I shut the gas, I'm gonna take it off the heat, and I'm going to set another timer for 8 minutes, and I'll come back then and I'll show you what that rice looks like. In the meantime, I made some egg rolls. We'll cover that recipe another time. But just very simple vegetarian egg rolls. I used cabbage and onions and carrots, and then I seasoned that as it cooked very slowly with garlic and ginger, and I added a little bit of some rice wine vinegar and a little bit of honey, and like I said, we'll get into that recipe another time, but I want to cook the egg rolls. Have them here. They came out very nice. And I just brushed a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan. I'm going to let the pan come up to temperature, and then I'll lay them in there. I want to get them crispy on all sides. I know traditionally egg rolls are deep fried, but we're not going to deep fry them. There's no need to cook them in all that oil. So let's let this oil come up to temperature, and then we're going to go ahead and get these in a pan. I think the pan is hot enough. So I just want to, oh yeah, hear that noise right away. The good part about this is that what's wrapped inside them is fully cooked. So all I'm looking to do right now is get some color on the outside of the egg roll wrapper. So we're going to cook them probably for about a minute, between a minute and 2 minutes on each side. I don't want them to burn. I have the gas pretty much on a medium low. And again, like anything else, I'm going to listen. I'm going to smell. I'm going to make sure that they don't get too brown, because you don't want them too brown. But you can see how quickly, look how quickly. That took no time at all for that to get some good color on it. And I'll just turn the gas up just a little bit, because as I turn them to a cold side, I'm going to bring the temperature in the pan down, and I want it to recover quickly. But look, just with that little bit of oil, look at the beautiful color you get. You don't need to deep fry everything for it to be good. I guarantee you these are going to be absolutely delicious. In the meantime, I am going to make a little bit of dipping sauce. Our favorite dipping sauce is so super simple. We use a little bit of a hot chili paste and then some apricot jam, and we'll add a little bit of water and even sometimes a dash of soy to that. Mix that up. That makes a wonderful dipping sauce for this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cooking these on all 4 sides, and I'll come back in a few and show you how we did. Okay, so look at these egg rolls. How beautiful. And in the meantime, that is the timer for our rice. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out, put them on a dish, grab that rice, and show you how we did. Okay, let's see how that rice is looking. Make sure this isn't too hot. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Let's turn this on. That's really nice. Look at it. Nice and fluffy. Give it a stir. I'm probably going to have to give it just the smallest amount of salt, because if you remember when we started making it, I only put that very small amount in the beginning. But look at how nice and fluffy and beautiful that rice came out. Really, really nice. Okay, so I definitely want to give it a little bit of salt. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you could toss in some peas, which maybe I'm going to do that. I'm not a big fan of peas, but my husband and my son are. So maybe we'll put, I don't know, that much peas in. Let's say it's about a cup. And the heat from the rice, those peas are frozen, but the heat from the rice is going to cook them before I even get this to the table. So look at that. Let's go ahead and make a dish. I want to give this a taste first. Look how pretty that is. Look at all of those colors in there. Really, really nice. Look at that. Oh, that's really good. Really, really good. I can taste the ginger, a little bit of ginger. Those carrots are really nice. And of course, the garlic that I put in there. And even I get a little background from that green onion. So let's go ahead and get this plated. Okay, so here we are. Look how delicious this looks. I just used a little bit of fresh cilantro. And of course, I love lime on my rice. Doesn't matter what kind. The only thing left to do, really, is to taste it. We got a nice chunk of zucchini there. Delicious. Look at these egg rolls. And I promise you, we'll cover this recipe. But for now, you're just gonna have to take my word on how good they are. That's it, guys. We have a very simple rice here. You could do so many different things with this rice. And today we just used a little bit of zucchini and some garlic. I finished it off with some fresh cilantro and lime. And I'm gonna sit down and have dinner now. So Make sure you check us out on social media. We are Aunt Susie's Kitchen on Facebook, Aunt Susie's Kitchen on Instagram, and of course, here on YouTube at Aunt Susie's Kitchen. And make sure you come back and see us again because there's always something good cooking in Aunt Susie's Kitchen. Delish.